15 more celebrity pairings you wouldn't believe are from the same family. If you are brand new to our channel, we invite you to take a moment to subscribe. Just click on the lit red button as well as the gray bell. Why the bell? Well, it will let you know every time we post a new video. 1. Melanie, Griffith and Dakota Johnson. Many people will recognize Dakota Johnson from her roles in the 50 Shades of Grey movie series, as well as How to Be Single and A Bigger Splash. What people might not realize is that Dakota is the daughter of 59-year-old actress Melanie Griffith. The mother-daughter acting duo are now one of the cutest pairings in Hollywood. For those who don't know, Melanie is known for her work in the films Body Double, Something Wild, and Working Girl. She's still acting though, and her 2016 film projects include Where the White Man Runs Away and The Masterpiece. Dakota is Melanie's daughter with Don Johnson. Melanie also has a child with Stephen Bauer, Alexander Bauer, and Antonio Banderas, Stella del Carmen Banderas. Who knew? These days, Melanie is divorced from all three of those men, but she is happier than ever, especially since her daughter Dakota is such a hot star. 2. Emily Blunt and Stanley Tucci. Where do we know Stanley Tucci from? Well, lots of places. He played George Harvey in The Lovely Bones, Shaun in Burlesque, Dr. Abraham Erskine in Captain America, The First Avenger, and Caesar Flickerman in The Hunger Games. And those are just 4 of his acting roles. So, how is he related to Emily Blunt? Well, Tucci is Blunt's brother-in-law. This happened when he married Emily's sister, Felicity, in 2012. Felicity is Emily's older sister who also works as a literary agent. As for Emily, she was actually the one who introduced Stanley to Felicity after meeting Stanley on the set of The Devil Wears Prada. Way to go, sis. As for Emily, she has dated singer Michael Bublé and actor John Krasinski, but for now she is single and ready to mingle. Well, maybe not, because she recently finished The Girl on the Train, and she is doing voice work slated for 2017. 3. Conan OBrien and DenisLeary. What do these two funny men have in common? They happen to be third cousins. Conan OBrien and DenisLeary only have a few years between them. Leary is the elder one, and they are both talented and witty gentlemen. Turns out that it might run in the family's blood, because they are both distantly related. Both men make jabs and references to this upbringing in Irish Catholic households, which is another interesting tidbit. However, the difference is that OBrien seems more at peace with the religion than Leary, who calls himself a lapsed Catholic. We hear ya, bro. Anyway, the two men are extremely accomplished and have a lot to be proud of. In 2016, OBrien worked on a music video called Fire and Leary lent his voice to Ice Age Collision Course. We will have to see what 2017 holds for these two, maybe a guest appearance on OBrien's show by Leary. 4. Gavin Rossdale and Daisy Lowe. You may have spotted 27-year-old Daisy Lowe on the TV show Dancing with the Stars, and you might have had the first impression of why is she a star? Well, her daddy is none other than bushfront man Gavin Rossdale. Yup, they are father and daughter, which is pretty darn cool. Daisy is also hot on the dance floor, with Dancing with the Stars judge Len Goodman singing his praises to her on the show. Anyway, while most people will know of Gavin Rossdale as the ex-husband of singer Gwen Stefani, Daisy is not Gwen's biological daughter. Gavin had a brief fling with Pearl Lowe, a fashion designer. Gavin was married to Gwen Stefani from 2002 to 2015, and their split came as a huge shock. Still, they have both since moved on, and appear to be doing well. If anything, Daisy's appearance on Dancing with the Stars can serve as a distraction. 5. Drew Barrymore and Sophia Loren. 82-year-old Sophia Loren is a fashion and beauty icon that will stand the test of time. She also happens to be the godmother to Drew Barrymore. How cool would it be to say that your godmother was Sophia Loren? It's a bit hard to believe that Drew is already 41 years old. She looks great and is by no means old. We just remember her as a round-cheeked cutie in E.T. Yet, as with anyone, she grew up and now she is the mother of two lovely children, Olive and Frankie. Drew is also a godmother to Kurt Cobain's daughter, Frances Bean. As for Sophia, she married a man 2 decades her senior, Carlo Ponti Sr., back in 1957, and she remained loyal to him until his death in 2007. She even said that she would never be able to love another like that ever again. Wow, that's admirable. 6. Alexander Skarsgård and Stellan Skarsgård. Swedish actor Stellan Skarsgård may not be on your radar, but his last name might sound familiar. That's because the 65-year-old celeb is the father of Alexander Skarsgård, who is widely known among the masses these days. With father and son both involved in the acting industry, we bet that they exchange stories and lessons learned with each other. In the past few years, Alexander has made a pivotal name for himself, appearing in productions such as The Giver, Zoolander 2, and The Legend of Tarzan. He has the role of Tarzan. And of course, let's not forget his character Eric Northman from the hit TV series True Blood. As for his dad Stellan, we know him from Good Will Hunting, Breaking the Waves, Kill Your Darlings, and many more. So, will the story of Stellan and Alexander be like father like son? Time will tell, but we'd say they are both very accomplished. 7. Redfoo and Berry Gordy. What the what? How could Redfoo and Berry Gordy have anything in common? They are son and father. Yes, it may shock you at first, but it totally makes sense. Berry Gordy is a famous songwriter and record producer, and Redfoo is one part of the musical group LMFAO. Berry Gordy is considered to be one of the founding fathers of the Motown record label, and he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1988. Those are pretty big shoes for Redfoo to fill, but he seems to be taking it in stride. He is definitely his own person. We consider that a great feat, given that Redfoo has 7 other step-siblings from Berry Gordy's marriages and relationships. Redfoo is the youngest child of Gordy's. If you're wondering whatever happened to Redfoo and LMFAO, he released his single Lights Out in 2016 and dropped the album Party Rock Mansion. 8. Chris Pine and Robert Pine. The new Captain Kirk of the Star Trek reboot is looking mighty fine as Chris Pine. Who would have guessed that he is the son of actor Robert Pine, who played Sergeant Joseph Jetra in NBC's Chips? Robert Pine's film and television credits are numerous and include Frozen, The Mentalist, Independence Day, The Bold and the Beautiful, as well as several video games. He did voice work. As for Chris Pine, he can definitely look up to his dad for support and motivation. Chris will star as Steve Trevor in 2017's Wonder Woman film, and he will be in Wet Hot American Summer 10 years later, in which he will play the character of Eric. Chris also has a nice voice, as you can hear in several of the soundtracks and albums he is featured on. He was also involved in theater from 2006 to 2010. There's a lot of talent in the Pine family.